Hello everyone, I am Adina Nosirova studying in a TESL program at Webster University in Tashkent. This is my media supported activity demo for grammar for ESL and EFL teachers course. So let me show my presentation. So here you can see the content of my presentation. Here learner profile, students' error analysis, description of the target grammar, learners' problems, pedagogical approach to teach, and activities for the target grammar which I picked for this presentation. Before collecting data about the learner, the consent form to participate in a classroom study was signed by him. The learner is first-year student at university majoring in English. And he is 20 years old. He has been learning English for 8 years. He used mainly the books by Murphy. He emphasized that he reached only accuracy. Also, he tried hard. He applied a paper-based IELTS test a year ago, and his results was a 5.0. And his learning goal includes scoring high on a proficiency test like TOEFL or IELTS, to study abroad to earn a master's degree and improve his English skills to communicate fluently. Moving to the next slide, you can see the table showing his mistakes in his writing and speaking. Alex was interviewed to get data by asking some questions about his learning experience via telephone. The interview was recorded to analyze the transcript grammatically. You can see it in Appendix 2. And besides that, he was asked to write an essay about whether he prefers to learn better with or without a teacher, to show his grammatical problems in his writing. And you can see this his essay in Appendix 3. Based on error analysis of the interview and writing sample, I made a table. And based on data collected from the interview, here you can see that the most common mistakes he made are articles, prepositions, and adjective clauses in both speaking and writing. After having done the student's needs analysis, I decided to focus on adjective clauses in my lesson plan. There are a number of reasons for that. First, as his learning goal is to score high on a proficiency test to study abroad, the learner's ability in correct use of adjective clauses is important to master in academic English. Additionally, adjective clauses are considered as the most frequently structured used in reading and writing. Thus, I concluded to design a lesson that focuses on adjective clauses. So moving to the next slide, you can see the learning problems of adjective clauses. It's fact that students' ability to learn a language is not always the same. Even though many students have learned adjective clauses by heart, after a few days or weeks, they may not remember how to use them in context. Some of typical difficulties faced by learners when they learn adjective clauses are listed by Martin in his book, Grammar for English Language Teachers. According to his list, comprehension to observe adjective clause elements and use them in a meaningful way, using unnecessary pronoun and using the wrong relative pronoun are the main difficulties. Moreover, Ivana stated that students' general mistake in using adjective clause is that they tend to repeat a subject, which is person pronoun after adjective clauses. The result of the research conducted by Rahmadzini showed that second-year students of Medan fail to master in the use of adjective clauses because they rarely use them in daily life communication and writing. Another reason can be that in some languages adjective clauses don't exist. Therefore, the non-existence of the adjective clause makes learning more difficult. Additionally, some teachers may neglect to give homework assignments to their students, as students don't revise adjective clause after they have learned in the classroom. they have tendency to make mistakes in the use of the structure later. From my experience, I can say that one of the reasons why Uzbek students fail in the use of adjective clause is that the way adjective clause are formed in Uzbek is totally different from the way adjective clause are formed in English. Adjective clauses are formed by adding the suffix "sa" to main verbs in Uzbek language. Therefore, many Uzbek students get confused to remember how to use adjective clause appropriately. Another reason can be that as relative pronouns often are just left out in the sentence, learners may fail to recognize adjective clause in text. Here you can see some pedagogical approach to teach adjective clauses. When it comes to teach adjective clauses, a teacher should know how to present a lesson for the students. It's not always easy to do properly because teachers should master and find a lot of effective materials and methods before the lesson. According to Larson Freeman, using autolingual method can be beneficial to teach adjective clauses. Hornby introduced the operations concept to teach adjective clauses based on some rules. For example, a teacher explains the structure clearly and focuses on her or his students' attention. And students are given much time to ask questions if they don't answer the topic. And a teacher always helps and motivates the students. And to teach a problematic grammar point, five-step approach suggested by Elise helps students to improve their grammatical skills. Elise's approach encourages students to understand, notice, and discover the target structure by themselves. This approach works well to deal with students' common difficulties to teach grammar because guiding students to acquire the rules using inductive approach enables them to activate their critical skills by aligning them to discover and recognize the role better. Additionally, this approach allows to check students' understanding and practice the target grammar in real-life situations. Another approach is teaching grammar in context, suggested by Mart, enables learners to understand how language works in real context and recognize the target structure in a text. Bedstone developed three approaches, namely teaching grammar as a product, process, and skill, which help teachers to teach grammar more effectively. Teaching as a product approach allows students to focus on function and form of adjective clause, and teaching grammar as a process, on the other hand, promotes students to focus on meaning of adjective clause in a real-life situation by engaging them directly in the process of language use. Furthermore, teaching as a skill approach enables students to focus on the target grammar and reading and listening activities. Azar states in her presentation on teaching grammar in today's classroom that teaching grammar using communicative approach positively works to achieve teaching purpose. And furthermore, she emphasized that the role of teaching grammar is to help our students to fluent and accurate in the use of language in real communication. And personally, I believe that external factors such as parents, teachers, and friends and an environment influence students' learning because the students are easily influenced by this environment. And besides that, songs, movies, cartoons, short clips allow teachers to engage all students in a class because the students love them. Additionally, giving clear instructions, explanations with many examples when teaching the structure of adjective clause helps students to understand better. So here is an activity which I picked for this demo. It's called Let's Listen Song. The activity lasts for 25 minutes. To make logical, this activity consists of pre, while, and post-listening stages. In pre-listening, teacher asks students some raising awareness raising questions. For example, what kind of songs students like and how often they listen English songs and what their favorite English song is. And in the next stage, pre-listening, teacher asks students to listen the song which I picked for this activity. It's called Never Say Never. And after students have listened to the song, teacher asks some questions about the song. For example, what is the song about? And next stage is called post listening. It is the very important stage. In the post listening, so teacher plays the music again and asks students to identify the target structure and complete the gaps in the lyrics of the song individually while they are listening. And importantly, here you can see differentiated instructions. So there are always different level students in the class. So just teacher gives a worksheet, and you can see it in appendix 6 for weaker students and ask them to circle correct words they hear while listening to the song. And students work in pairs when they check and compare their answers. And after they have done this, they try to discover the rule. So general purpose of this activity is to teach inductively the target grammar using a song. Each stage has its own purposes. Pre-listening stage aims at preparing students for an activity and activating their background knowledge and schemata and top-down processing, whilst listening stage aims at students to understand the target structure. It should be noted that this stage promotes step 1, listening to comprehend, developed by Rod Ellis, and post-listening stage aims at enabling students to notice the target grammar and discover the rule. Importantly, this stage supports the second and third steps, which are listening to notice and understanding the grammar points developed by Rod Ellis. So here are the books which I used for this study. I used Azar's, Ellis, and Bedstones, and Harbury, Freeman and Larson, and Martins, Pollux, and Rahman Ellis, and Rahmadzini's, and Thornburn's books. And I've found them very effective and useful to accomplish the task.